Hello, this is Andy Harris with Premier Property Group, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about where I think the real estate market might be heading in 2021 here in Portland. I shot a video last week about the 2020 market and just like a recap and wrap up of what happened last year. So you might want to check that out. I'll point out a little bit of information here, but if you want a little bit more thorough, in-depth info, I think sometimes it's a good idea to see where we've just recently been to see where we might be going. So in any event, I'm going to share my screen with you here. And I think the first thing to point out is what happened in terms of pricing last year. So our average sale price in December of last year got up to 514, and that was up 12.3% year over year. But the entire market for throughout the year was up about 7.6% on an average basis. The median basis, it's 12.3 and then 7.3. So the market was red hot last year. It's just continued now. I'm seeing the single family home market just be really, really intensely competitive. The condo market's still a little softer, so that's a really interesting place. If you're interested in condos, now is not a bad time to be investing in there. You've seen some price dropping in certain units in certain buildings. So there is room for some appreciation to happen there once we get through COVID and some of this political turmoil we've seen in the last 12 months starts to subside, which I think is going to happen personally moving forward. So in any event, so that's what happened last year in terms of the pricing. So we had some pretty big gains. What drove that is our inventory, which is essentially a good indicator of just supply and demand. It's how fast are all of our listings going to sell out if there's no more listings starting tomorrow. And right now it's 0.8 months. So, whatever that is, about 3.5, 4 weeks or so. It's the lowest that it's ever been. And it certainly feels like it's at least that. I don't know if it's dropping, but it definitely feels in this vicinity. It's extremely competitive. I wrote an offer yesterday, for example, that ended up with 18 offers on it. And we went in big, and I don't know where we ended up, but not first place. So it's a very competitive market. So that to me, combined with this, which is the interest rates, and you can see these are the lowest that they've ever been. And this goes back to 1970, but it's never been this low before. So with the price of money being so low, housing prices are relatively lower than they were a year or two ago based on just appreciation rates, or sorry, interest rates and housing costs on a monthly basis. So this is just driving a ton of demand. So given that our inventory level is so low, I think we have a long way to go to see that taper off into a more balanced market where we're not seeing as much appreciation, or appreciation's a lot slower. So I'm anticipating the market to continue to cruise up pretty quickly. And I do think interest rates will tick back up at some point this year. Right now, according to Freddie Mac, this is a US weekly average. It was at 2.73% for a 30-year fixed. So, I've seen people discuss, 3.25 or so, maybe up a little bit from there by the end of the year, which usually goes hand in hand with with a market that's doing well. So the better the market's doing, the less, even if interest rates go up and put a little bit of pressure on price, theoretically the market's also doing better and people are in a better position overall. So it might balance each other out a little bit. So anyways, my expectation is still strong appreciation, especially in the single family home side of things. So this is from the Realtor magazine, and the main economist there. Um, he put out a median home price expectation increase of 4.5%. Of course, that's nationally. I think it's kind of hard to glean exactly what that might mean for Portland, but 4.5% is still well above your average year. Maybe I don't know exactly what the average year appreciation is, but I think it's more in the 1.5% to 2% range. But don't quote me on that. So that's at least from what I think I remember is about double or so. And then Realtor.com put together their market forecast, and I'll put links to all these articles and the interest rate link and all that below this video. But they put together a median sale appreciation of 5.7%. So that's a little bit more bullish than the realtor economist. So I think that seems about right. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe it was down a little bit from like 7.3, 7.6% that the market appreciated last year here. But I also wouldn't be shocked if it stayed that strong. This is also put out from the Realtor magazine. I just wanted to show, this is just some of the trends, the biggest housing issues and trends of this year. They were talking about inventory shortage, which I've already kind of discussed. Widely distributed vaccines give boost to consumer confidence. So again, I'll put this into the description down below, so you have a link to this if you want to read through it. But this is something that I thought is a really interesting topic, and I know this is a fear for some people of some homes will be lost to foreclosure, and I think this is an extremely good point here. They say 40% of real estate agents believe that the end of forbearance and stimulus plans could put an increase in foreclosures. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if that did happen to a degree, but it says, however, growing home equity may help homeowners sell in a strong market if they are facing foreclosure. So that, I think, is a huge point, that unless the market tumbles like it did in like 2008, given that prices are going up so fast, I don't think, unless it comes in a deluge of foreclosures, I don't know. I think a lot of people are going to be able to sell without foreclosing and short selling, and maybe can just sell, and they even make a little bit of money, or come out even or whatever. So I'm not sure, unless the market really tanks overall, that we'll see such a huge impact on the market. We'll see. I mean, certainly I don't know. And then this is kind of the caveat that I wanted to end on here. So from Investopedia, they were just kind of reporting the next housing recession in 2020 predicts Zillow. The main point I just want to make is no one knows. No one knows what's going to happen next year. I think the best thing we can do is just see what's been happening, what the numbers are saying, where interest rates are at, where inventory is at, how low inventory is, how far we have to go to a balanced market. All that seems to indicate to me that we're going to stay strong, see appreciation still tick up substantially. Impacts from eviction moratoriums or foreclosure moratoriums could come into play, and we'll see what happens after Biden's first 100 days in the office, and certainly things could happen, but my expectation is that we still probably end up in Portland in the 5+% appreciation range. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, if there's anything I could do to help, please reach out, and I'm at 503-504-2369. If you found this video informative, I would love for you to please subscribe and hit the like button on this video so more people can see it. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye.